So back in this dark little corner of my side yard, that's my backyard fence. So my back patio is right on the other side of this, and you can see over here the wisteria vine from hell has been making quick work of this fence, but I think I've got her under control now. But this little specimen right in front of us, it's probably about 5 foot tall, maybe a little more, and it's not quite as tall as me. So as you can see, it's got oak leaves. It's a little oak tree, and she's a beauty, but she's only a few feet from my fence. She's back here in this crowded corner, and this little section panel of fence, I think its original intention, probably when the fence was put in, and maybe at one time it was it to have it be a gate in and out. But at some point, you know, either it wasn't made into a gate initially, even though it was, you know, designed to potentially be one. I think it's going to be one again, and because it'd be just nice when I'm working, since the shed is just on the other side of this fence across the patio. If I'm working out here in this garden, then to be able to just go back and forth. Also, I park my car over here, and in the summer, I think I'm going to clear more, and I'm going to park further up this way, so in the afternoons I'm in the shade, and then I could come and go through my back door through that gate. But that's a project for another day. Today we are gardening, and we're going to Harold and Maude this little tree, but I'm not going to have to put her in my little car through the sunroof. I'll just put her in my little wagon and drive her around to the front of the house and plant her. And then there's at least one more somewhere in there I remember seeing when I was kind of investigating, and there's an itty bitty knee-high one just around, let's see if we can find her, just around here, that I might just pot up into a 5-gallon pot and nurture. Oh, I gotta clean up back here. See this little baby? She's just knee-high to a grasshopper. And I think I can get at that. Maybe I'll get that one today too, and put that also in my parkway, because if they live, fantastic. You can see what wisteria will do. This is why you don't grow wisteria on your house, because it will come in the tiniest little whip through a crack around a window, and the next thing you know, your house is crumbling around you because of the wisteria. Okay. As beautiful as it is, I would love to have this fence covered in wisteria, but no. All right. But I figure with at least these two little trees, if I can get them dug up safely, I've been talking to them, telling them what my plan is, and I think they're on board. And if they live, I have just added, well, they're already here, but I've put them where they can be appreciated and be of better use to myself in the neighborhood, up in the parkway, and they're free plants. Mother Nature provided. So, I've never done this before, but we did have a property in western Illinois for a while, a little vacation property, and there was a neighbor guy. There's a lot of empty lots in there, and he said that he would come down to these empty lots and find these little prairie oaks. Illinois prairie, I don't remember what kind of oak trees they are, but they grow a lot on the prairies. They make the little oak savannas, which are really cool on the prairies. Anyway, and transplanted them around his house that was like in the middle of an old field, right? And within a couple of years, he had like 10-foot tall oak trees. Now, you know, and then someday, these babies will be as beautiful and lovely and spreading and majestic as their mother tree over there. Now, she might be the mother tree. Isn't she gorgeous? Let me see if I can zoom in a little more on her. Oops. Well, okay. But then there's a auntie tree. You can just see her trunk here. This messy tree is blocking her. You're seeing the top of her. But that's also another live oak over on that parkway on my property. So those two live oaks, one of them is the ancestor of these babies that I'm going to transplant today. And then I have these 2 beautiful tulip poplars right here. And I was so excited when I viewed this house to see these 4 trees basically. But the tulip poplars also were just a really exciting find for me because I had just got done an herbal conference or a retreat, and one of the presenters was talking about tree magic and tree medicine, and found that tulip poplars have some really interesting green goddess energy about them. And I haven't had really a chance to spend much time working with them, but I'm looking forward to it. And they were so lovely last summer. They're just nice little street trees. So I may get a couple more of those at some point. But if you have suggestions on how to turn this big lot into an urban oasis, I've already started a few things. I want an orchard. There's plenty of room for some small orchard trees. Probably stone fruit because I'm in the south and that grows really well down here. I've already, you'll have to excuse the pile of vines that I tossed over the fence yesterday, and random rotted potatoes. I haven't cleaned this up yet, but underneath there is another cardboard and leaf lasagna from the corner of the tall fence all the way to here. That's the tarp that I had on the lawn. It did not work as well as I had hoped, but that's a project for another day. I'm actually going to clean that off, dry it off, and I'm going to cover my wood pile with it. But so many projects, so little time. But what this little bed here is going to be, which is probably, I think these are 6-foot panels. They're either 6 or 8-foot panels. So it's about 20 foot or more. And it's going to be my asparagus and rhubarb patch. So I've got to get some of both from a store here sometime, or order it online. And these vines, yeah, these are the wisteria vines that I, again, cleaned up out of the backyard yesterday, just tossed over the fence. So I'm not sure. I'm thinking of doing like a woven, you know, like in little cottage gardens where they take the willow and they make the little woven fences. I'm thinking of maybe trying that with all this wisteria vine that I have, because Lord knows I have enough of it. Just maybe a little bit. I want to say wattle and daub, but that's not what it is, because that's how you can build houses, walls, traditionally in old houses. Not my house, but I don't know. We'll see. How many projects can I put on my plate for one growing season? That's why this yard over here, I'm still in the dreaming stage. But I walk it a lot. I spend a little more time out here. There's a lot more land here than I had even anticipated, especially since I started cleaning this weedy area back. Right now, here, I'll show you. That's where I'm just piling all my shrub cuttings and tree cuttings. And it'll probably just, it can't be a big burn pile. I'm gonna tuck it back against, and I just know that the wildlife loves those little liminal spaces. I'd love to make this so I don't have to mow it so much. So some clover and whatever I can get out here this summer that'll just take over temporarily. I can't help but get that garbage, that plastic sheet in the background. Sorry about that. You guys don't care. But anyhow, then the other plan is, I'm just starting small. I do have a plan to take my fence, a section of my fence on this side, and make it into a wider gate. So when I'm again, bringing things from over there into here, back and forth, getting in and out of my car, I'll have a gate over here instead of having to walk all the way around the front of the house. Especially if I don't get this little gate back here done. Plus in the summer, that's going to be just bug heaven. So anyway, but then also from the new gate down to where I keep my garbage cans, I'm going to do the same thing I did for the asparagus bed here. More lasagna. I think I might even make lasagna for dinner tonight. Just in a lasagna mode. And that's where I'm going to plant my blueberries. So again, I don't have to come way over here to harvest my blueberries. They'll be right on the outside of the fence. I thought about doing my cane fruit there, but cane fruit can be kind of invasive at times, and I don't want it coming in to my cottage garden. And the thorns and all that, although it would keep people from trying to jump over my fence probably, but that's not a problem I have. So I can come out, I can harvest my blueberries right there, and again, they're so pretty in the spring, and year round, really, in the fall when they turn red. So that's my garden plan. Now, something that I was hoping would happen while I gardened and dug around this old house and this old property was that I would find some buried treasures, you know, some old broken teapots or, I don't know, horseshoes, cannonballs from the Civil War. Then you have to call in the police, bomb squad and all that stuff. But yeah, so far I have found one treasure. This piece of rusty old conduit. So I'm still not calling Antiques Roadshow. But you never know. Maybe next time. Now I gotta stand up. Watch this. Watch this yoga teacher shit. There we go. Okay. Okay, so there you have it. 2 new oak trees for my parkway. I'll keep you updated as they grow. And before I go in, I am going to go get my hose and water them in real well. And sing a little song or say a little prayer or do a little Reiki on them just to help them deal with any transplant shock that might happen, because yeah, we did take them out of there where they chose to grow, where Mother Nature chose to grow them, and put them here. But I think this is going to be the perfect place for them. Oh, that's better. This guy was growing at a bit of an angle because he was so close to the fence, and I'm hoping here he'll straighten up and fly right as time goes on. I think he will, or she will. Anyhow. And then the next time I go to the store, a store that sells mulch and things, I will probably get, well, when I get the compost delivered, I will put a nice top dressing around both of these trees of good, rich topsoil, and then I will mulch them with either pine straw or oak shredded bark, pine bark or something, just to help, you know, keep the weeds down and keep the moisture levels high, and just keep a good eye on them. Now, where I planted the bigger one, the previous owner had tried to plant a tree there, had planted a tree there, and it didn't survive. So there was a divot, a big hole, and just a month or so ago, when I was cleaning out these gutters, these curb areas along the street, I took all the mud that I dug out of there and filled that hole in, because every time I was mowing lawn, I got tired of stepping in that hole and twisting an ankle. Well, now I have a tree that I have to mow around, but that's okay. And this little guy might get, I don't want to stake it. I have heard contradictory things about staking your young trees. It actually weakens them. So, but I might just put a bamboo stake with a ribbon or something on it next to this guy so that nobody accidentally mows over it, or not that anybody else but me is mowing here, but sometimes I do have a friendly neighbor who occasionally will, when he's going to mow his lawn, he'll zip by here and mow my parkway for me. And I don't want him running over my baby tree. But hopefully by this time next year, she'll be as tall as her neighbor, and that one will be taller than me. And within my lifetime, maybe, fingers crossed, well, they'll start providing some shade. And then when I become an ancestor, someone will drive down the street or park in front of this house and say, oh, look, we found a nice shady parking spot on this quaint little side street in front of this pretty yellow house. And they won't know who to thank, but I will have left the world a little bit better than I found it. That's my intention always. All right, so I'm gonna go now and get some water on these babies. Oh, they're so pretty. You kiss your trees, don't you? I'm not the only weird one, right? Oh, she's gonna be a beauty. I hope one of these ends up like one of the, well, it can't be too much of a lateral spread because it's on the street, but you know, like the angel oak that just kind of goes out on the sides. That would be lovely, but we'll see what she ends up doing. And then I'm going to go dump this dirt somewhere. I have plenty of ankle twisting holes in my yard, so I'll just go dump it on something. Okay, see you later. And thanks for watching.